Okay, right. Welcome to the live hip mobility class. What we need to do is either, if you can, remain flat-footed in a deep squat. That's absolutely wonderful. Right? If you can't remain flat-footed in a deep squat, get a pair of shoes or a set of weights and just simply put them underneath your heels, like this. And what that does is it raises your heels and makes it far easier to sit in this position. Okay. Now, one thing that deep squatting does is it promotes crocodile breathing. In other words, thoracic breathing. So you can't breathe into your stomach because you're in a deep squat. So what you do is you have no choice but to breathe out. What we're going to do, we're going to start off, okay, with some simple parasympathetic breathing, okay, to activate your vagus nerve. What we're going to do is we're going to breathe in for 4 seconds, and we're going to breathe out for 6. Here we go. And what this does, it sends a signal to your brain to say that it's safe to move. Okay, here we go. In through your nose. And out. Okay, out through your mouth. In through your nose. And out through your mouth. There we go. Hold on a moment. There we go. Once again, here we go. So, your nose. And out through your mouth. Just continue. 4 seconds in. And 6 seconds out through your mouth. Taking your time. Become absolutely centered in this moment. And as you're in this deep squatted position, whether or not you've got your heels elevated or you're in this position with your feet flat, just gently start to move your hips. Just gently rocking from one side to the next. Continuing to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Automatically, straight away, we're oiling your hips. We're elongating your spine, so we're putting some space in between your vertebrae. Something we don't do very often. Something that some of us may not have done for a long time. You're sitting in this position and just gently rocking. There we go. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to come down and gently sit down on your sit bones. Okay? There we go. Now, in this position, I'm going to go to here. There we go. So, into a S shape. Okay? Left leg down, thigh up, right leg down, quad up. And we're just going to come over. There we go. Just gently moving like this. There we go. Now, If you have trouble doing this, just very simply use your hands, just to put a little bit of pressure off your spine, okay? And just gently. That's all we're doing for now. Just gently moving, okay? From one S shape to a Z. Absolute, really, really good for oiling your hips. Really good because it activates your pelvic floor muscles. Okay? Continuing to breathe. The important thing is not forgetting to breathe, okay? If you're at the point where you're struggling to breathe, you're doing it too much, you're putting too much pressure in, okay? So if you can't breathe while you're doing this, you put your hands down. I can't put this hand down, I've got a fractured wrist. Unfortunately, I fell over a couple of weeks ago and fractured my wrist in a couple of places. But it's not about pushing through the pain with mobility. What it's about finding ways around to still be mobile, even if you are injured, but just taking away that part of your mobility. There we go. Breathing in. And breathing out. As you're doing this exercise, or this practice, I don't like to call it exercise, I like to call it practice. As you're doing this practice, you're continuing to breathe 4 seconds in, okay, and 6 seconds out. So remember, from here, you're just going to flick over to there. From here, you're just going to flick over to there. There we go. Now, okay, you put your leg out, and you come over. There we go. Up and back. I'm going to come over. You're going to put your leg now, okay, your left knee down, right knee up, and you're going to come up. There we go. Over, hold, and back down. We're going to do this 5 times on this leg. So remember, left leg down, leg flat, right leg up, and you're going to lift up. Now, if you can't do it like this, you use your hands to lift yourself up. You're going to go, breathe in, and as you breathe out, come up. There we go. And 2. And 3. 2 more to do. 3. 4. 1 more, and we're going to switch sides, okay? There we go, and back. Now we're going to switch. So the right knee is going to come down, the left knee is coming up. Exactly the same position, okay? A figure 4. As if you were looking from above, you'd see a figure 4. So this knee down, this knee up, and we're going to come up again. We're going to do 5. Breathe in. As you breathe out, you can use your hands, as I say. As you breathe out, you're going to come up. 1. 2. 3. 4. And here we go. And 5. Now, we're going to strengthen our hips, okay? Really simple. We're going to stand up with no hands. Now, if you can't stand up yet with no hands, all you're going to do is you're going to use your hands just to help yourself up, okay? Simple as that. So you're going to go cross-feeted, and you're going to go, there we go. I'm going to cross over, okay? And down. That's one. We're going to do 5 of those. In fact, we're going to do 6. Cross over again, and down. Cross over again, and down. Cross over again. 4. Cross over again. 5. And the last one. There we go. Now I'm going to come down into the deep squat again. There we go. And just hold this for now. Well, once again, if you struggle with both feet flat on the floor in a deep squat, you put something, if you just joined us, put something like a pair of slippers or a pair of shoes behind your heels to elevate your heels until you have enough flexibility in your ankles to hold this pose. There we go. Now, just going once again, it's going to start gently rocking. Okay. From side to side. So good for your hips and your glutes. And so good for your spine. It's something that we don't do. Something that children can do. You want to see a perfect movement, just watch a child squat. We lose the ability to squat as we get older. So just hold this position. There we go. Now what we're going to do, okay, we're going to keep this position. We're going to do 5 on each side. We're going to use the right knee is going to come down to the floor and back up again. Here we go, look. 1. There we go. Breathing out. 2. 3. 4. And 1 more. 5. Other side now, here we go. Breathing in, breathing out as you come up, so 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. 1 more. And 5. There we go. So still staying in this position, we're just going to use our hands to go around as you can. Put your hands flat on the floor on the other side of your feet. So, like this. There we go. What you're doing, you're really stretching the thoracic part of your spine. Okay? The thoracic part of your spine is where your rib cage is. Okay, there we go. We're now going to come over. We're going to come up and over. There we go. We're going to come up and over and around and around and around. And once again, we're just going to just sit in this position and just gently rock. There we go. It's just oiling your hips. That's all we're doing. We're just gently oiling your hips. There we go. And in a moment, I'm going to go back down. Okay, back down onto our sit bones. There we go. And come straight back into here. And just stretch out. Here we go. Put your hands behind you and just allow yourself to come backwards. Just so you're stretching out your hips. There you go. Once again, just so you're stretching out your hips, you come back. Stretch out. There we go. Breathe in. Don't forget to breathe. There we go. There we go. Don't forget to breathe. Beautiful. Thank you for the hearts. There we go. Down again. Perfect. Back into the 4. Right knee up, left knee down. Right knee up, left knee down. Just very simply, we're going to lift again nice and slowly. We're going to come forward. 5. Touching your knee on the ground. Here we go. I think people underestimate the power of movement also as well when it comes to mental health. It is absolutely invaluable. It really is. I've got ADHD, suffer from addiction. I was a drug addict for 15 years. I've been clean for 19 years now. Here we go. Was it 18 years? Can't remember. Yeah, 18 years. Been clean for 18 years. There you go. One more. And movement keeps me sane. Just moving. Anyway, getting on the floor and just moving around, crawling around. The sort of stuff that we've done as kids, we forget to do. Learn to move like an 8-year-old again. Learn to move like a 2-year-old. There we go. 1. Beautiful. And again, here we go. Up. 2. 3. 4. Here we go again. And last one. And 5. Come back down again. Sitting back in this position. Breathe. And once again, you can use your hands. If you can do it without your hands, how strong you will be in your 60s and 70s can be gauged on whether or not you can lift yourself up off the ground with no hands. Whether or not you can put your socks on standing up. So we're going to do standing up now with no hands. If you can't do it, don't do it so you hurt your back or so that you injure yourself, but just try it. And if you can only get to there, look, it's fine. Just sit back down again gently. If you can only get to there, sit back down gently. Okay, up. There we go. We're going to do 5 again. 6. We're going to cross over again, right? Cross over and come down. The reason why I cross over is because it's easier to keep your balance. Okay, so there we go. Up again. Cross over again. And down. Beautiful. It's 3. And down. Here we go. And down. 2 more. Last one. and down. There we go. Beautiful. We're going to breathe. There we go. Now, we're now going to just do a little bit of moving around on the floor, back in an S, and there we go. But this time, okay, we're not going to come over. We're going to stay in the Z. So, right thigh up, left quad down. So you're in this position, and all we're going to do, we're going to come up 10 times. 10 times. You ready? If you can't do this, or you're unable to do this yet, I don't like the word can't. If you're unable to do this yet, because your mind, your brain, hasn't connected the nervous system to be able to do this, use your hand. What we're going to do, we're going to come up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, okay? 6, 7, 8, 9, and the last one, you ready on this side? 10. Beautiful. Over. There we go. Once again on this side, 10 on this side. Here we go. 1. Just really strengthens your pelvic floor, strengthens your hips, takes them into flexion, into extension, works your glutes. It helps your glutes wake up. Sometimes, if we have a sit-down job, or we spend a lot of time in the car, or we spend a lot of time on the, sitting down, our glutes, which is our buttocks, our sit muscles, can go to sleep. They can literally stop working and go to sleep. And then what happens is your back takes over, your lower back. You've got lower back pain. You can't understand why you've got lower back pain. And you may have lower back pain for a couple of reasons. One of them is you could have tight hamstrings. When your hamstrings go tight, it tends to pull on your back, pull on your spine, okay? pull on your pelvis, and what that does in turn is it makes your lower back ache. But however, you can also have glutes which have gone to sleep. 3, there we go. And if they've gone to sleep and your lower back is doing the work of the most powerful muscle in your body, which is your glutes, and then you're going to have back pain because it's doing the job that it wasn't meant to do, or it isn't meant to do. So what this can do, really simply, is it can just wake up your glutes. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. What you can do, you can put your hands down. Even if you struggle with this, you just put your hands down. Look, I can't do it with my hands. I've got a fractured wrist. There you go. 1. Up that. Just push. 2. Okay. 4. Or was that 5? I don't know. 4. That's 4. There we go. 5. Breathing again. 6. 7. There we go. And 8. We're going to do a little bit of squatting, but a little bit of squatting with a difference. Okay, so we're going to come up. There we go. We're coming up. What we're going to do, there we go now. What we're going to do is we're going to bring our legs out, okay? Bring your feet out so they're as wide really as they can comfortably be. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to come into a squatted position, okay? A squatted position. And we're just going to move over like this. 1. And across. Okay, 2. What you're going to do is you're going to lift your hands so they are just above the floor. And you're going to breathe out. You're going to sweep as though you're using your hands to sweep the floor. Now, if you have to put your hands down, that's absolutely fine. Okay? But the whole point of this is to get to the point where you're strong enough to be able to hold this position and just sweep and move up, bring yourself up like that and back over. Here we go. And over. Up. The sweeping squat is part of my ground flow program or practice. It's like coming out very soon. Breathing out as you come up. There we go. And sweep across. There we go. Beautiful. And beautiful. And come up. Then bring our feet in. We're going to come down now. Once again into a deep squat. And we're just going to sit. We're going to hold this position for a few minutes before we do our breathing to round off. So once again, just center yourself and bring yourself into this moment. And just gently breathe. Breathing in and breathing out for a little bit longer. Activating your vagus nerve, which is the rest and digest part of your nervous system. Which sends a lovely message to your body to say that we're safe. Movement is safe. Just treating yourself to a bit of presence. Nothing's broken. We're just fixing, reminding the body of what it used to do and has simply forgotten to do. Mobility, for me, is the key to life. It's given me back it's given me back my life. It's given me back my mental health. It's given me back my confidence. Just 15 minutes a day of just moving around gently on the floor can change your life. If you don't follow me already, follow me. Send me a message. I'll always come back to you. Answer as many questions as you like. Find about mobility, how to start, where to start, when to do it. There we go. Now we're just going to set ourselves down now. Okay, there we go. Set ourselves down. Cross your legs over. Put your back nice and straight. There we go. And just breathe. 4 seconds in through your nose. 6 seconds out through your mouth. If you can, your stomach first and then your lungs. We're here every Monday, 7 o'clock, just to loosen our hips. Hopefully next week my hand will be in a position where I can lean on it, so we can vary it a little bit, do some different stuff. But at the moment, it's just about showing up, being present, and just putting your hips into a position that they haven't done for a little while. And what this will do, this will, with your breathing as well, it will wake up your parasympathetic nervous system, take you out of flight or fight, constant that constant feeling of anxiety and stress and worry, and just put you into that nice rest and digest just for half an hour. Just to forget about where you are. The beauty of this practice is that you don't need anything. You don't need any weights, you don't need the gym, you don't even need any equipment or any clothing. All you need is yourself and what you're wearing at the time. It's that simple. And for me, there's very, very, very few ways that can help more toward mental health and moving consistently and breathing. And let's say I'm going to leave you with something. Do you know 10 minutes on a daily basis of movement, even breaking it down to 2 5s, every single day is more beneficial than 1 hour a week. Consistency is the vital key. It really is. And I hope that you've enjoyed the session. Once again, we'll see you if you turn up next week, 7 o'clock. And as I say, if you don't follow me at the moment, click follow. If you want to send me a message or you get updates I tend to post daily different routines that you can do. And there's quite a lot of routines you can follow on my page. So thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you again next week.